Here's your news for April 28, 2020. Let's dive into some of the major headlines for today. WWE fires employee after 35 years with the company. New Paul Heyman guy out of Money in the Bank tournament. WWE not addressing Velveteen Dream allegations. WWE Hall of Famer running for US President. Current WWE wrestler sending cash to struggling WWE fans. Released WWE star teases AEW debut, and more. We're starting off today with news from WWE's recent releases, as yet another huge name was cut earlier this month that we're just learning about. Dave Meltzer has confirmed that WWE released Gerald Briscoe from his contract as part of their cost-cutting measures, and explained that the reason his name didn't get out was because WWE didn't release a full list of internal firings. Briscoe had been with WWE since 1984 and was one of Vince McMahon's most trusted advisors for years, who worked alongside Pat Patterson in the Attitude Era as the Stooges. In more recent years, Briscoe was helping scout talent for the company, and hopefully the Hall of Famer will be the last firing to come out from the company's widespread cuts on April 15th. From wrestling to politics now, as former WWE superstar and governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, is reportedly considering a bid for the US presidency. As a politician, actor, and wrestler, Ventura is no stranger to controversy and took to Twitter about testing the waters and said if he was to run, he would represent the Green Party. He said, "Okay, I've decided I'm going to test the waters. If I were going to run for president, the Green Party would be my first choice. I've endorsed the party and I'm testing the waters." He added, "To be clear, I haven't filed anything. I authorized a letter of interest that was sent on my behalf to the Greens, and I'm testing the waters for a Green Party nomination. I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican because I know they're not the solution." It'll be interesting to see just how far the Predator star goes in his presidential aspirations, as it's possible that President Trump may not be the only WWE Hall of Famer to occupy the Oval Office. Back to WWE, and this weekend saw allegations of Velveteen Dream sending inappropriate direct messages to minors on Instagram, though the former NXT North American champion has denied all accusations, saying that the photos used are of him, but they were used by someone else without his permission. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer noted that WWE hasn't commented publicly on the matter and hasn't responded to any requests from the veteran wrestling journalist, adding that this lack of a response has made things interesting. He said, "It'll be interesting to see if Velveteen Dream's there or not. Everyone's been completely quiet on that story, so I don't know what that means." Meltzer isn't the only one to be shut out by WWE, as Ringside News has also said that their requests for a comment have fallen on deaf ears. This is a very bad look for the Dream, who has denied these accusations, though following these claims, a story came out about criminal mischief charges being brought against Dream, but ultimately dropped earlier this year. As one of NXT's most popular and promising stars, it looked like the 24-year-old was set to get a shot at Adam Cole's NXT Championship, and hopefully WWE will be able to get to the bottom of this situation as soon as possible. From one controversial star to another now, as we've got an update regarding Brock Lesnar, as fans haven't seen the Beast since his WrestleMania 36 loss to Drew McIntyre. Now it looks like it may be a while before fans see Lesnar again, as during the WWE 2020 first quarter investors call, Vince McMahon said, "We no longer have Brock Lesnar," which caught the interest of many on the call. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer questioned whether Lesnar would return to WWE, as he's historically kept details regarding his contract a secret, while Brian Alvarez argued that Lesnar, who has signed short-term deals in the past, isn't likely to compete for the company as long as there's no crowd. Time will tell whether Lesnar returns to WWE, as he may be waiting for the company to bring back live fans to their shows. But given the current situation, the former world champion may not have a choice but to compete in front of an empty arena once again. AEW news now, and while Cody Rhodes has been looking to trademark as many terms related to his father, the American Dream, the WWE isn't making things easy for him. After Cody filed trademarks for Slamboree and the match Beyond, WWE filed to oppose this claim on March 24th. And after their notice of opposition expired on April 23rd, WWE filed for a 90-day extension, which will expire on July 22nd. The term Slamboree comes from the pay-per-view that Dusty Rhodes created, while the match Beyond was the term used for War Games to signify the start of the winning period. In the past, Cody has trademarked several WCW names, including Bash at the Beach, which was used for an episode of Dynamite, and time will tell whether the AEW Executive Vice President gets to use the pay-per-view name his father made famous all those years ago. Back to WWE, and we've got even more news from this month's huge releases, as Luke Gallows filed a trademark for the name Sex Ferguson on April 22nd. Older fans will remember that was the name used by Gallows as part of Colt Cabana's Wrestling Road Diaries, while WWE did a PG version named Tex Ferguson for Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Gallows previously filed for the name in July 2017, but allowed it to expire in April 2018. But given that he and Carl Anderson were released by WWE, it looks like Sex Ferguson may be making a comeback. We've got some truly amazing news from Paige next, as the former Divas champion knows that not everybody is as financially stable as she is at the moment. On Twitter, the former SmackDown general manager asked her followers what's the biggest struggles for everyone right now, and after reading many heart-wrenching replies, asked those responding for their Venmo accounts. It wasn't too long after that fans revealed just how generous the British superstar was, with one fan's mother being able to afford a much-needed inhaler thanks to her donation, and another fan being able to afford food for the family. One fan wasn't so pleased with Paige's generosity, as he said that she shouldn't help fans who received a stimulus check from the government, though many people pointed out that not everyone received a check, and Paige questioned why she shouldn't help out if she can. This is some much-needed good news in these worrying times, and it's great to see that Paige is using her own success to help those struggling in this current situation. But what do you think about Paige reaching out like this? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We are looking at WWE's 2K video game series next, as although the company has cancelled WWE 2K21, the company will still release a game for fans to play this fall. A new game titled WWE 2K Battlegrounds will be a brawler from World War Z and NBA 2K Playgrounds developer Saber Interactive, and will feature over-the-top depictions of wrestlers, complete with outlandish moves and environments. The 2K21 game was cancelled after the disastrous reception to WWE 2K20, and in an open letter, 2K revealed that the 2K19 servers will remain open for the time being. In that same letter, the company spoke about the future of the 2K series, adding that the year-long break will ensure that the development team at Visual Concepts have more time to create a much better game than last year's installment, which will entertain veterans of the series as well as newcomers to WWE's brand of games. To turn 2K around, the company has hired Patrick Gilmore as executive producer after his work as the boss of Amazon Games, which is about to release their own MMO, New World. WWE 2K20 was the first game primarily developed by Visual Concepts, as the company had worked with Yuke's in the past, and while fans will have to wait quite some time before 2K21, gamers will still have their WWE fix this fall with Battlegrounds. One person fans won't see in Battlegrounds is Deonna Purrazzo, as she was released this month despite it looking like she was going to be called up to the main roster. While this was a shock to many, one person who wasn't surprised was the Virtuosa herself. Speaking to Sportskeeda, the former superstar revealed that she'd been unhappy in the company for the past 6 months and let people in the WWE office know this. She added, "We had conversations where I said, if nothing is going to happen for me, I'd just rather be let go. I think, overall, I must have been afraid to ask straight up to be released, but once they fired me, it was kind of like, oh, this is what I wanted. I was never scared of that. Exciting times is more what I'm looking forward to than being sad." While she may no longer be a WWE superstar, it's good to see that Purrazzo is keeping optimistic for the future, as the Virtuosa isn't letting this recent release set her back. With so many stars being released lately, it's hard to keep track of who's still in the company, but despite not appearing recently on WWE, Kalisto is still a contracted superstar. On YouTube, the former US champion explained that he's out with a shoulder injury that he got in December while competing in Los Angeles. Hopefully, the Lucha House Party member will be able to return to the ring soon, but for now, he needs to take time at home to keep recovering and stay isolated. One person who was let go from WWE this month was No Way Jose, but the former superstar is already looking at his prospects outside of the company. While speaking to Inside the Ropes, the former Raw and NXT superstar revealed he has a much different plan on the indies, which includes ditching the smiling No Way Jose character. He said, "As good as the character was for me in terms of making a living, I don't want to continue that character. I just feel like it did what it did, and if people want to book me for that or whatever, it's going to be possibly one-off or whatnot, but I have so much more to show. I have a more serious side, I have an aggressive side. It's clear that the conga line is gone and Jose isn't looking to start it back up again, and this could be the change the former superstar needs to jumpstart his career. Of course, fans will have to wait and see what kind of Jose will arrive on the independent scene, as due to the ongoing situation, Jose won't be appearing on any shows anytime soon. One person who did survive the recent cuts was Jeff Hardy, who has seemingly turned over a new leaf following his DUI arrest last fall, but now the charismatic enigma will have to wait a bit longer for his day in court. The PW Insider is reporting that Hardy's court date has been pushed back once again, as it was originally scheduled for November 7th last year, then pushed to April 6th, and now will take place on July 16th. The report also stated that this latest postponement is due to the ongoing global situation. WWE isn't waiting until July to use the controversial superstar, as he's been the focus of several videos lately and is currently expected to feud with Sheamus upon his return to action. Hopefully, when Jeff does return full-time to the ring, the ladder match specialist will be able to keep clean after entering inpatient rehab for the first time last year. We're heading back to AEW now, as episode 201 of Being the Elite has been uploaded and included a big tease for the future of the company. During the episode, the Young Bucks joked that they wouldn't be able to top the last episode, but looked into the sky and saw some skywriting that spelled out FTR. Of course, this is a tease for The Revolt, who previously wrestled for WWE as The Revival, and after years of the Bucks and The Revolt teasing a match online, it looks like it'll finally take place. Now, we previously reported in January that former WCW star Van Hammer hit a child with his car, and after being charged with felony hit and run, as well as failure to stop in a crush, as well as DUI with injuries to another person, the former wrestler is claiming he's not guilty. According to PW Insider, Hammer appeared in court this week, though not physically present, and pled not guilty, with a pre-trial date set for June 10th in Florida's Palm Beach County Court. The 60-year-old WCW star was arrested in January when he struck a 5-year-old who was riding their bicycle at the time, and after a witness identified him to police, officers noted that Hammer smelled of alcohol and refused a breathalyzer. It was estimated that Van Hammer was driving 58 miles per hour in a 35 zone, and we'll keep you updated as this story develops. Raw news next, and last night's show featured a United States title match between Andrade and Apollo Crews that ended with Andrade being declared the winner, with Crews unable to continue. On Twitter, WWE explained that Crews has suffered a knee injury, and after being visited by trainers, it was confirmed that the Raw superstar is out of next month's Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Though this is unfortunate news for Apollo, who was seemingly going to have his first push in years, his injury does leave a spot open for someone else to enter the men's ladder match, and it'll be interesting to see who WWE chooses to replace the athletic heavyweight. And finally, we're ending with news from Monday Night Raw, as after fans got to see a United States title match tonight, next week's show will have a different title up for grabs, as the Street Profits will defend their Raw Tag Team titles against the Viking Raiders. During this week's edition of Raw, Ford and Dawkins said they were tired of dealing with the Vikings and looked to finish things next week, and the match was quickly confirmed by Byron Saxton.